want to go after Sabeta.
Sorry.
I want to go after Sabeta.
Oh, okay. We can do that. Diane, you want to go first?
Well, my question is really just how to be able to find the audience. And I haven't stepped into that in particular. I guess I'm thinking more strategy with the audience. I mean, what are the questions that I need to ask or ask others to make sure that I'm fine tuning it enough that I have enough like-minded people, but not so many that I feel like I'm trying to do too much and then not really hitting the most likely candidates that I want to work with. So
Yeah.
how we go about that, because I haven't done it yet. So it's not like there's anything to show you. I'm trying to figure out the strategy before I dig in.
Yeah. Have you taken a look at our like persona videos in the foundation section of the course yet or no?
If I did, I think I might have done it early on, and I've done other things and maybe need to revisit that. So
that I created that video, which is like outlines how to set a ideal supporter persona, and really clearly like who that person is in a document that then you have documented to share with the rest of your team. And that sounds like it's getting to your question, which is a little more so like, who should we be targeting as opposed to how do we target them in Facebook, right?
Well, okay, I'll fine tune my question a little bit more, because I work with criminal justice, and what I've been told by donors, for example, is that criminal justice compared to artwork, which we also have by prisoners, people are 4 to 5 times more likely to be wanting to engage with someone that does artwork with a nonprofit than they would with criminal justice. So thinking along those lines, then how do you say who that person might be when, if I had to choose, I'd rather do criminal justice, even though artwork is what opens the conversation and gets things going.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the struggle, because the reality is when I talk to people that do fundraising professionally that have been kind enough to kind of brainstorm with me a little bit, it's very clear that artwork is much more significant to getting a conversation going. If they really like the artwork, then they will find out that prisoners did it, for example, whereas people who might be interested in criminal justice are 20% less likely to even start the conversation to begin with.
Right, but then there'll be more.
I guess I just want to weigh in here. I think it depends greatly on like what your goal is. So like if your goal is, I want to ultimately bring in donations, and you're targeting people that were like, interested in artwork or remarketing, and they end up, interested in your initiatives and wanting to help, I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing to be like, you're almost like creating an interest of criminal justice in people who are interested in art. And I think like finding a niche like that isn't a bad thing at all.
Okay, thank you. I'm just wondering if I'm trying to do too much by getting, the people in the criminal justice circle with the people in the artwork circle and trying to get like the intersection of that. I mean, ideally that's what I'd like to be able to do, but is that really just asking too much?
So yeah, I think it comes down to like a kind of a higher level like strategy piece of like, who are you trying to attract and what's your offer to them? Like, what are you offering them? Is it you're trying to fundraise from a specific persona, or you're trying to attract people to volunteer, again, to a specific persona, or to buy art from you, or to buy the prison art is a different persona, right? So I think it stems from like outlining that persona really clearly to start.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can use the tools like the Google Ad Grant and Facebook ads to reach that target persona. But the kind of upstream work of really clearly like, who is that target persona, I think needs to be done. That being said, so that's where I would start, is that video in the foundation section of outlining the persona, and you can do that in a really clear document. And then we can show you how to use a tool like Facebook ads to reach that person. That being said, there might be, I don't know, Danielle, if you have thoughts on like in the interest section of Facebook, or is there any ways to look at like how many people we think we could target who have an artwork interest, and how many people we think we could target who have an interest in like prison reform or any specific interest there? Because that might inform like if there's enough people to try to reach that, specifically on the prison reform.
Right. I think the harder part when it comes to Facebook is that just is a political thing, and you'll probably have to go through a political disclaimer in order to be targeting things like, reform and criminal justice are like taboo topics to Facebook, so they don't really like to use them. There are like workarounds. I suggest just going into like making an interest and seeing how close to criminal justice you can get, because I think criminal justice as like a major or study is still available, so you can be targeting people that way. I personally would just recommend you try targeting both audiences and see which one works best for you.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say is I'm inclined to keep them separate so that I'm not trying to really go after both. I mean, that strategy wise. Okay. So you can create the persona that's more a criminal justice advocate type of person versus create a person who, has some interest in being able to understand a variety of types of art and how that might be, have a mission with it or something like that.
Yeah,
But
I
that's-
think too, when you're making ads, just if you're going to be separating out those two audiences, I would recommend making tailored ads to each audience. So if you're if you're in the art one, talk about art leading into, your actual mission and like who it's from and stuff. Criminal justice, you might not need to focus so heavily on art. So just making those ads tailored to the persona. But I think it's worth testing both audiences.
Okay. All righty. That's what I wanted to know. And I do think I've done the persona, Eric. So I have to go back and take a look at that because I didn't do more than one, which I think is the key to this now is separate interests. I did one I'm trying to combine them. And I think that's the strategy error that I feel like I'm coming up against. If I keep them separate, I'm going to be able to write the kind of content that's going to attract the people. So I'm not trying to do everything and end up with nobody.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be able to see which one works better because Facebook ads, we have really clear data of, who'll click more, we're staying on the site longer. Do you want us to jump in super quickly and show you how to make the like interest audience in ads? I feel like that might be helpful to other people as well, just like in the interest section.
I think if we go to Sabita, we'll probably get some information. I don't need to do that right now, but I appreciate it. I want to play around with it a little bit, but I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's jump to Sabita's question. I have a feeling we might hit on interest targeting anyways in it. So
yeah,
floor is yours, Sabita.
Am I able to share my screen?
Yeah, you should be.
Okay. All right. So I have an ad. Ooh. Okay, are you seeing this screen? Sorry, I have two things up at the same time. Can you see my ad?
Yeah, we're looking at Meta Business Suite right now.
Okay, perfect. So I have this one that I just put up. So we're also kind of in the same boat in terms of target audiences. So I work for a mental health nonprofit, but we do a lot of work in the workforce. So in the mental health workforce. So advertising to, clinicians or people that are active counselors. And then we also advertise to youth and their families. So people who would benefit from our services. And we have a fundraiser coming up June 1st. So I'm trying to do targeted ads to anyone under that umbrella that wants to support us and come to this fundraising event, which is like a food experience. And there'll be live music and a live auction. So right now what I have for my audience details, I try to like geo-target specific like neighborhoods and areas around where we live. So we are county specific, so Lancaster County, but within the county, there's a lot of different municipalities. So I tried to target some of the larger ones. It's a pretty broad age range. And then for interest, I put like motherhood, any type of parental thing, family, physical exercise, since we're mental health. I thought like also just physical health would be good. And then I targeted all the parents, but I just want to make sure that this is like optimized to reach the best audiences, or if I should do what you were suggesting to Diane and maybe do 3 separate like ads and focus on 3 separate like smaller audiences.
I can weigh in here if you want, Eric. So I think since you're targeting for an event, you could split it up if you so desire. If you want to do like, I see that you have like singing, beer, and sales, desserts, chocolate, like kind of more like targeting like an event. That persona might be like widely different than those who are like really interested in like the wellness side of it. And I think you could probably split it into 2. One, marketing it as like purely an event that is fun to go to with music and food and kind of more like farmers market vibes, I guess is what I'm wanting to say. And then another one that's just really deep into that like health and wellness sphere and highlighting like how the event is correlated to those interests of them.
Okay, that's
So
helpful
that's what I
because
would do.
we're definitely using like those marketing keywords like farm to table and organic food and stuff. So if people want to come to the event for that like foodie experience, but then there's so that's definitely helpful. So I think I'm gonna tailor mine down a little bit more.
I would
Really?
definitely also recommend looking at there should be a wellness interest in general. And I think that would probably be great because that's just like overall wellness. So if you can find that, I would add that in there as well.
So that's under edit audience, right?
Yes.
Yeah, have you like managed ads and ads manager as well, or only under this screen?
Under the business suite, this is primarily what I use, but should I go to the ads manager for Meta?
I think so. That's
Okay.
how we run ads, right, Denny?
Yes. When you pulled this up at first, I was wondering if you were just promoting a post actually.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't think you are. But I just don't work out of this sphere, but I can, assume it's all the same, just a different format.
Okay.
You go to all tools.
Where is that?
Mhm.
Oh, right here. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And then you go to
Ads manager. Okay.
right there. Yeah. So this is the screen that you'll see in our Facebook course videos.
Gotcha.
Have you seen this before or no?
Yeah, I have. It does intimidate me, so I usually don't go to the ads manager. But I know
Yeah.
this is also still in review, so that's like affecting some of the reach and stuff, but
We
Oh, that's-
can definitely take a look at that. I would click on that campaign. Yeah. That's
Okay.
very interesting. Let's hit edit right below the name. I want to see if it is going to tell us why it's still in review. Okay, I take it back. Hit the little X at the top to exit out of this ad. And then, just hit close. Hover over in review. Just put your little mouse over there. Cool, and it's not telling us. It might be in review because it seems like there are changes.
okay.
So let's hit, unpublished edits. Let's
Oops. Here's what not
hit
to
edit
do.
again. No, you're all good. Okay, let's scroll down. I also think, is this the first time you're putting on a said event?
No, that we did this last year. So this is our second year putting on this event. It's called the Feast of the Senses.
Cute. Okay. in my experience of like running event campaigns, I think the most valuable creatives are going to be like of the actual event or what it looks like,
Okay,
rather than like say graphics. Graphics are like, you know, a last resort, like if you have to use it.
okay.
I think the
have-
graphics fine, but the photo of like people doesn't really, like I wouldn't be scrolling down my timeline and see this photo and assume this is an
Wow.
advertisement for an event.
So I have these other ones, but I don't know why it won't let me.
You
Okay,
can
so
go
like, for example, this is like me, our programs manager and our executive director, and this is how much money we raised. So I had it, I guess, as a carousel ad, but I can take off the graphic. If you
a
don't think-
carousel ad's good. I want to see if can you show me the second and third image?
This is just like the room where we had it in.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a picture of one of the food stations we had.
Oh, cool. Okay, so definitely if we're gonna be splitting them up into like one interest that's targeted on like if you are marketing to like people who are interested in like beer and like food and that kind of stuff, for 3 out of the 4 images to not contain food
Mm-hmm.
is kind of doesn't make sense for that audience.
Right.
So if you have any more images of like, you know, really what that talk to the person that you're trying to target, that would be ideal. And I think the money thing is like great, like how much you raised. But I think it'd be more valuable if you said what it was going towards.
Okay. So should I put that in like the headings of the headline of each of the images, like match? what it
Yeah,
says?
that would totally be valuable.
This is
And I
great.
can show you how to split them up too if you'd like,
Be helpful.
in, you know, in the campaign manager, because it's just a little different.
And
So, oh, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. So currently this one ad set and this audience is all interest audiences of just Facebook interests, right?
I think so. Also, I don't really understand what that means. So,
Yeah, sorry. It's
Okay.
a little, if you click on the left bar, the one up, right, just to the right and down the middle, like
this,
bar where it says promoting.
So that's the ad level.
oh,
So if you can see the little folder icon, that's like the campaign.
right here.
Yeah, it's also to the left as well. Like right.
This.
Yeah,
Right, I
it's
got-
there too. It's
Right.
there in multiple places.
Okay.
So that's like the campaign level. And then the next level down is going to be the ad set, that little, yeah, the 4 squares. So that's going to be like, okay, who are you targeting now? And
Okay.
then versus right now we're looking in the ad, but
Okay.
ad sets who we're targeting.
So this.
Mhm. Yeah, this is great. So yeah, like Danny said, campaign is campaign purpose, getting event registrations, and then this ad set is who we're targeting. It's people with these who match these demographics, and then the ad is the ad itself. So the reason I asked is I'm assuming it would make sense to build another audience that's like existing supporters who might not have heard of this event yet,
Okay.
get in front of them to get them to register. Do you think that would make sense here, Danny?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would do is like, what's the budget you're working with for the event? Either per
Well-
day or per whole event, either way.
For Facebook ads, we had budgeted 150, but that was like for one ad. So if we break it up, it might be, I think, $50 per ad.
Right. And what's the time frame?
So it's the RSVP date is in 2 weeks.
Okay. So I say we take that 150 and we divide it into 3 different ad sets.
Okay.
You control cost technically per ad set, not per ad. So
Okay.
within an ad set, you can have as many ads as your heart desires.
Okay.
Which you're kind of doing when you use like, say, carousel images,
Mhm.
because Facebook will decide which one is the best performing and push that one out first anyways. But I do definitely think it's worth targeting 3 different, one remarketing audience. We're going to do one interest of like wellness and food and mental health, you know, mission oriented. And then we'll do another that's just purely like people who are wanting to go to events.
Okay.
So first thing I want to do is adjust budget. So if we can scroll up on the ad set. Unless actually, okay, go to the campaign level. I think you might be paying per campaign. And scroll down. Yeah. Okay, that's fine too. So then we don't need to worry about changing that. We'll just hit the 3 dots next to the ad set level,
This,
the one below.
okay.
Yes. So click that and then hit quickly duplicate.
And shows what actually OMG screen is a must. I wish I could take a bath in this retinol. Acne medication and fountain of youth. Don't waste your
Okay, so now it says go to your page to edit this. Oh, you're muted.
I said, oh, that's interesting. Let's hit the 3 dots there and see if there's anything. Or sorry, in the error actually.
Oh,
Yeah. Go to the ad set level
where is it this?
on the green one
Oh, okay.
and hover over that. I'm wondering if because it was built out in another place. Go to your page to edit this. Well, okay, let's go to the page and see if it does anything.
Like the Facebook page?
Yeah, I would just go to the other tab that says Meta Business Suite.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it wants you to do it this way because it was built this way, which would be weird.
I don't see any messages popping up.
Sometimes too, Facebook loves to make up errors and it'll let you
Okay,
publish. So let's try and build up the audience and then see if it'll let us publish.
so we'll ignore it.
So let's name it. So at the very top where it says promoting, yeah, let's change that to, let's do remarketing first. And then scroll down towards, okay, here. So do create new audience. Cool. We can still do that age range if you wanted to specify. You can edit that. You can edit locations because I know that's important since this is a live and in-person event. So just do search locations. Oh, yeah, and put in those target areas of yours.
So it's basically just this one.
Oh, just that one. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm,
So then a little above locations,
mhm.
see search existing audiences. So click that. Okay, this is exciting. We get to make new ones. So we're going to do create new. Right there. Yeah, custom audience. And let's do website is an extremely valuable one to remarket. So hit next.
Pixel name.
Okay, you might not have Pixel set up,
I don't
which is
think I
a whole
do.
other thing. How is it a Facebook event that you're marketing?
No, we're marketing a link to our website.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Pixel would be helpful to create in the future, but we probably don't have enough time to get into that because pixels can be very tricky. So let's go, let's exit out and try and create a new one.
Create a new audience.
Custom, and this time we're gonna go Facebook page. and make sure we're good. That's on the right one. Mhm.
Okay.
And then hit, instead of everyone who engaged, well, we can do that too. That's a good one as well.
Okay,
So just name it, Touchstone Foundation page engaged. And you can say 365 days if you desire as well. And then create. Cool, so now the ads will be targeting everyone who's ever engaged with your page before. And we also want to go in and do create a new, and let's see what else we can make. Is your Instagram connected as well or no?
yes.
Okay, so let's do an Instagram engaged as well. And just name that Instagram or Touchstone Instagram engaged. Right, cool. And I want to see if we can't do web, we'll have to see how large this audience is.
Okay,
But without Pixel, sometimes the ad set can just be too small. Since it's saying unavailable, I'm just concerned that there's not enough people in this ad set. So now, the key to Facebook is to adapt. So we're actually going to change this into an interest audience now. So let's exit the page engaged and the IG engaged, but this is something you can definitely target in the future.
okay,
And we're going to go edit right there. Perfect.
where?
Detail targeting.
Okay,
And in interest, let's do wellness.
so just click all of
Not
them?
ideally not as a job title. So let's do health and wellness as an interest. Yeah. Perfect. And then hit suggestions and we'll see what thoughts they have. So you can go ahead and add those that you already had in there, like well-being, psychology, quality of life, physical fitness, self-care is a great one. And let's see, and that's a pretty good sized audience as well. But we can go ahead and add, what were some of those other wellness words you had
I think it
before?
was like yoga
Yeah.
as an interest,
Mhm.
meditation.
Cool. And we can, you can always use suggestions. This is a pretty good size audience, especially given the county. 200,000 to like 500,000 is pretty good. That's a pretty wide target considering, again, you're targeting like a city. So this is a good size audience. Let's rename it though, just to keep that. So at the top, we'll scroll all the way to the top and name it interest wellness. Sorry, to the
Where do I
very
name it? Oh, all the way.
awesome. And we can go into the ad, so the part that's green now.
Okay, this part?
And let's review this ad, like putting ourselves in the mind of someone who's like very into wellness, very into yoga and meditating and like health. And let's just make sure, let's scroll down. I want to see if it's gonna let us edit. Okay, cool.
So should I just delete this image?
I would delete this image
Okay,
and then I think mental health fundraiser. I think this is still valuable. It is like showing the event.
okay,
And the headline accurately describes it. let's go down to, I want to see what the ad says. Okay. So I feel like coming from the perspective of a wellness person, this doesn't necessarily say enough about like what it, like the second paragraph
Mhm.
is highlighting, you know, the event, which is great. But that's something they can find out once we get them like interested. So the first part is
Sure.
like, why should they be interested? Like,
Mhm.
I think the part where it says support our youth mental wellness programs is great. Maybe say something about like some of the programs that the money goes towards
Okay.
would be valuable. And then a link in an ad
Mhm.
doesn't work
Okay.
because
I think I
it's
just
not
copied text from a post. It was like, use this post as
Perfect.
text, so.
okay, but we'll make sure, let's go down to destination actually. And is that the correct destination?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's scroll back up to the copy. So yeah, I would just change the second one to be like,
This whole part.
funds from this event will go towards programs like X, Y, and Z, you know, the different types of programs that
Okay.
are there. And then once you edit that, you'll hit publish.
So you said this whole thing, just take it away? Like the highlighted part?
I feel like the bottom's interesting, highlighting each of our programs in one of the 5 sentences. Yeah, I probably wouldn't include this
Okay.
just because they can find out more about the event once they once they go to the page. Yeah, that's cool. And I would put emojis. People respond
Okay.
very well to emojis. Just another thing to pop in. It just is really like gravitating.
I didn't know if that was like taboo to put on an ad.
No. The dream of an ad is to make it look like it's not an ad.
That makes
Make it
sense.
look very natural in platform. I would maybe use the little emoji too. That's like the little hands.
Oh, right.
Like
right.
I think it's called supportive hands. That one's people like that one.
This one or this one?
That one, yeah.
Okay. This is very helpful.
That can go maybe after like wellness programs before RSVP.
Okay.
Great. And now I think this is, you know, a good ad going towards, you could even maybe include a photo of like the programs or people you've helped just to kind of show what the money goes towards. But
Okay.
I think overall, this is a lot more now, especially with the copy, it's like more focused on the
Okay.
person we're targeting. So let's,
Can I change this image real quick?
yeah, it might be useful. Again, it's not like it's going to be the first image probably,
Right.
but it's still, if it's all the like information about the event, I still think it could be
Okay.
valuable there. So now I think this is good. I would hit publish and let's see if that error goes away. Cool, it's publishing. Wait, hit view details. Will you hover over status or fix errors? Oh, I just want to see what it said, the end of that sentence to the left. That is interesting. So you might have to, I would copy down the new copy we wrote and
Okay,
put it somewhere else. You might have to build it out the way you've been building ads in the page way, but yeah, just copy that so you don't have to, you know, rewrite this later.
okay.
And then
So it won't let me publish or just exit out of it.
yeah. So I would go into your Meta Suite, Business Suite, and build it out how you did before.
Okay.
Facebook can be very picky.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Okay. But that was everything I had, so I can stop sharing if somebody else
Okay.
wants to go.
Awesome.
Great. Well, thank you, Sabeda. Let us know how that new audience works. And if you have any questions getting that set up in the business suite as a business ads manager. All right, John. Strategy question.
Okay. I think this is it, yeah. So right now I'm running this traffic campaign and we're getting pretty good results and pretty good. The problem is I'm an arts organization and the actual event is on a separate website that I don't own, but actually I manage it. So I can't get the pixel from that into my ads because it always wants to put in the pixel from my website, the Arts Council website. Is there any way to override that or include that anywhere?
Let's hit the sandwich icon at the top left. I want to go into events manager. Yeah, which will be that weird symbol thing. And then hit the triangle on the left. Yes. So this is the pixel it's wanting to choose from, I'm assuming, which is
Yes,
not correct.
not for that, no.
Mhm. I would create, and you said you don't own the other website, but you.
But I run it. I put all the content there. So
Mhm.
And what's
You.
that site?
pardon?
I just see the 3 websites on the right. And I'm wondering if, see on the right where it says 3 websites and then the +2 more in blue. All the way on the right. Down
Create.
Oh, I see.
right there. Okay. So that's
Those,
just
and none of those are that.
right. Got it.
That's the second event.
Do you have access to the website's Google Tag Manager?
It doesn't have a tag manager currently,
Okay,
but
that's okay. I would.
but I could put one on.
Okay, so you have access to the website that
Yeah.
deeply, which is great. I would suggest creating a new pixel. You can have multiple pixels. You just
Oh.
need to make sure when you're making an ad, you choose which pixel you want to be focusing on. So I would create a new pixel for the other website.
And you would do that here?
you, I believe, can hit create,
Create would
the
be,
green
what-
button at the right.
oh, I see.
Mhm. Mm. Maybe you have to do it in settings. Let me check this.
Danny, this is just out of curiosity. Is there a reason to create multiple pixels as opposed to just use this same one and put this on the other website?
For separation, for organization. So if they are two different websites, it just might be, depending on what the two websites are, if that makes sense. But if they're like, say, different organizations or different goals, I think it's valuable to separate out the pixel. But if it's something that like you're wanting ads to send to the same, it's all about separating out your ads, basically, is how you want your like pixels to be set up. So
Yeah,
if
these should be separate. These should be separate.
it should be separate, okay.
Yeah.
And like generally you'll know if it should be separate. Let me figure out. You might have to go into your settings and the left, the little tool on the bottom left.
Oh, here?
Yes, go into business settings. And then hit data sources. Yep. And pixels. So there are 2 pixels. I don't think either of these, we looked at the HC one already.
This would be the right one.
Oh, that one's the correct one? Wait, so
Yeah.
wasn't the other pixel pulling from the same website? We can go back. But if that's the case, then this pixel just might not be added to the ad account.
Oh,
But this is the correct pixel. Like when you go on the page, this pixel shows up and this is what you want to track.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Let's add people under this pixel and add yourself
This is,
and hit manage pixels. And turn that little thing. Yep, and hit assign. Okay, and hit done. So that might be why you were not able to see it.
oh, okay.
And now we can hit the sandwich at the top left and go into Ads Manager. And then go into the traffic campaign. There, and then go to the ad level and hit edit on any one of them. And then scroll all the way to the bottom. Even more. So let's uncheck website events real quickly. I want to see if it's going to give us the option and check it again.
Where did it go? Oh, there.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting. If you're added to the pixel, okay, and it's going to folkcollege.com. Can you hit preview URL for me? It's a little up. Yes, it's under website. Yep, to the left and down a little.
Well, I'm sorry, where?
I got you.
Okay.
Advanced, oh, okay.
Okay, you can hit follow link. Will you send this link in the chat right now for me?
Okay.
I'm just gonna check on my end for the pixel helper. Thank you. Okay, on your end, can we go back to, we can exit out of this and go back to settings? Or we'll go to the events manager, I guess. I want to see if it popped up there. Or if it's just not associated with the ad account. And data sources. Sorry, the triangle thing, yeah. It's
So it
interesting.
should be here, right?
Yeah, I want to see the number.
It's-
Okay, yeah. So it is the other pixel. This one isn't running on this page. So let's go back to business settings. And go into add.
Oh, wait, add account?
Yeah, let's go to ad accounts. Okay, go to data sources and pixels. Sorry, we just have to bounce around a bit. I want to make sure. Okay, so that is the pixel. Let's go connected. Will you hit connected assets under assigned partners? Oh, under that one, sorry. Let's hit add assets. Yes, and so click the checkbox next to 232
This one?
and hit
Okay.
add. And then we can hit done. So essentially what we just did was we went under the pixel, we added you so that you can see the pixel. And now we've added the pixel to the ad account as well. So
Okay.
now we can go back into ads manager. So we'll hit the
Okay.
save icon.
All right. I think I got it now. You know, I don't want to take
Okay,
up any more time, but thank you very much, Danielle.
Of course.
I think that worked. John, if you want to just maybe in the background check
Okay.
ads to see if it works, and if it doesn't, I'm happy to stay on a little later and troubleshoot some more.
Okay.
But, I think I'd be surprised if I didn't get it.
Yeah.
All right, Katya, how we doing?
Good. So sorry I was late. I was busy and then I realized the time. I'm like,
No worries.
So I'll share my screen of what I've kind of done so far. So we're still in the very beginning stages of just using Facebook. I need to move this over. Okay. So I should minimize this. Okay. So I did this cover photo and the Facebook page hasn't been used at all. Literally the only posts are the cover photo used to be the building that's not even used, and then our logo for the profile picture. So my first question, I believe, was about the sort of like people once we're ready to create the Facebook ads, because I still need to talk over with Dean like the budget and everything. Would it be different to target individuals? Because you know we do we're rep payee services for Social Security. Would we want to do different ads for like healthcare organizations, and then different ones for just everyday people who might be like the rep payee for a loved one, or if you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
answer that. Yes.
Okay. So my first question is, before we even start doing ads, do we want to put posts up, like general posts kind of talking about us before we start doing ads, or can the ads just kind of serve as like the posts themselves?
you'll want to have content on your page just because if someone's seeing an ad, especially with something that has to do with like services or, inevitably asking for, we'll say like donations or money or information of any type, people are going to automatically go to the page and they want to make sure that the page is, legitimate and has content on it versus a page that has nothing on it just might seem suspicious to a user, which would be unfortunate. So we just want to make sure that there is some content out there.
Yes. Okay. So this kind of relates to my Instagram question. So create the Instagram page, but we don't use pictures or any. We're very remote business, and so what would be good visuals to show? Kind of what we're about.
I think that if you have no images, it is fine to use some stock images. So there are many like free stock image websites that you can utilize that have to, it really depends on what your ads are going to be about and what your goals are. So if you're Unsplash is a great one.
Unsplash.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Eric,
Because I know our primary goal right now is to get people to come to our website, and generally when they go to our website and they realize they want our services, we ultimately want them to call us. So it's kind of like website traffic is our primary goal.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. I would just look up like people on the computer or like people, you could even do like calling or talking on the phone or getting support or things like
Okay.
that. I would use stock images if you have no photos.
Okay, perfect. So I'll probably attend a session in the future once we have all the ads ready to go and need help with that. So, but I just needed to know where to get started. So thank you for that.
Yeah. no
Cool.
problem.
This is exciting, Katya. Let me know if you have questions around the setup because I know it can be confusing. And then also we have a under the courses section in Classroom under Facebook and Instagram ads. We have the how to set up a Meta Business Manager and Ads Manager, which should walk you through how to set it up if you have questions. Betty just had a great point too. Betty, I didn't even realize you were here. It's good to see you.
Hi.
She had to use quotes or quotes remission or just general like text-based stuff. I know you can create, there's a bunch of templates in Canva, and that's a free tool where you can create content, and that might resonate pretty well because you have such a clear value prop, which is like, we're just gonna do RET payee services for this hyper specific niche. So like even just explaining that in text with like a strong copy and some like either stock images or graphics, I think could potentially work well too.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool. All right, we're at a minute left. Betty, did you have any questions? I'm happy to stay on later if Danny has to go.
Thank you. I'll save for our next class.
I'm happy to stay on if you want to chat.
Sure, then. I think I just have a couple questions.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, now. Okay. Yes.
You want to?
That's fine. So I am sorry I wasn't prepared to even share it today. Maybe I'll just save it for next class because it's like 3 questions in one that I totally was not prepared to share this late. Sorry.
It's up to you. If you have, if you think we can be helpful even in pointing you in the right direction, we can chat now. If not, happy to wait until the next one.
Thanks. I'll probably just email you or Danielle if that's okay.
Yeah, that works too.
I appreciate it.
Cool. All right. I think that covers it. Thank you all so much. And by you all, I just mean Betty and John, the only two people left. But yeah, it was great. I'm happy we could help. John, if you have any questions around like strategy stuff, I'm happy to stay on now, or if you want to email. But I feel
Okay,
like
I'm good for
so
now, I
questions.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Well, have a great
Thank
one.
you.
See you.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.